Hello everyone, it's Masun ga Jone here, and today I have my other friend who is a foreign taxi driver in Japan, Tokyo. As you know, I had an interview with another foreign taxi driver in Japan last time. So today I have another friend of mine.
Welcome,
to meet you.
man. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Okay, can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Albert, and I've been in Japan for 14 years. I started this job last year, in September 2020.
Yeah.
And before that, I was an English teacher. I taught English for 12 years, and then I decided I needed a change because I wanted to explore my options and improve my Japanese. I also wanted to develop new skills.
Wow, that's almost the same as me. Because
It's great.
I was also a school teacher. I was teaching English before this job.
That's right.
So I think everyone wants to explore the options we have in front of us.
Of course, because with being an English teacher, you're living in a foreigner's circle.
Yeah.
You don't get to use Japanese.
Yeah.
And because whenever you're in the school, then they want you to use English and communicate in English. Some eikaiwas, conversation schools,
Yeah.
and even as an ALT, you are not allowed to use Japanese. They really object.
Yep.
Because you are representing the foreign culture, and they don't want you to use Japanese when interacting with students.
Yep.
They want you to use English so that the students can get exposed to English.
That's right. I know that.
Right.
Actually, that's very interesting. I have a friend of mine who has been here for more than 20 years,
Right.
but he has been teaching as an ALT for almost more than 10 years, but he cannot speak Japanese.
That's true, because you'll get a lot of foreigners who've been in Japan for 20 years or 30 years, and they still cannot speak Japanese because they're always living in their foreigners' environment.
Yep.
And English teaching, it's an easy job.
Yep. Very easy.
It's very easy.
I know.
And even some schools, some public schools where you're an ALT, sometimes you just don't do anything.
Yep.
You just are just standing there, and the Japanese teacher is just teaching his or her lessons.
Yep.
And on the other hand,
Yeah.
they will give you the whole lesson and tell you to teach the whole lesson, while the Japanese teacher sits at the back and
Yeah.
just does his or her own checking, and you are in charge.
Yeah. It depends
So-
on the kind of
That's right.
co-teacher you are with.
Very.
So, what you're telling us is one of the reasons you decided to do this job
Yes.
is to practice your Japanese.
That's one of the reasons that I decided
One
to
of
do
the
this.
reasons.
Yes.
Because when you were an LT, you were just using English
That's
all the
true.
time. You
All the
couldn't
time.
practice your Japanese.
That's one of the reasons why.
Oh, good. So, for how long have you been a taxi driver in Japan?
Well, over about a year and a half.
Yeah.
But that excludes the training, because before becoming a taxi driver, I had to pass some tests in Japanese.
Yeah.
There were 4 tests, actually.
Yeah.
One was called the geography test.
Yeah.
In Japanese, we call it chiri shiken.
Yep.
And then after that, we did the law test, which is
Yeah.
rather straightforward. It's not that hard. It's called hore.
Yeah. The Horis, yeah.
And then we went to the driving school where we had to pass the driving test.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had to pass the most difficult one, which is the written test. And the pass rate was, to pass the test, you had to get 90%.
Yeah.
And you only had 50 minutes to answer those questions that were hard.
Yeah.
So altogether, that took me about 3.5 months, because 4 months.
Yeah.
Because 1 month we wasted because of the corona. The driving school was closed, so
Yeah.
we had nothing to do.
Yeah.
And then the next 6 weeks I spent was with my instructors who taught me the system on how to drive the taxi and how to interact with customers.
Yeah.
And that training was quite demanding.
So, by the way, would you mind if I ask you?
Go ahead.
I don't know where you're from. Where are you from?
Well, I was born in Pakistan,
Yeah.
in a city called Karachi, which is in the south. It's the largest city of Pakistan.
Yeah.
And I grew up there. I did my education, my elementary, as we call it in Japanese, elementary and high school.
Yeah.
And
Or
then
primary. in
primary
British, yeah.
or yes, whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. And then when I was 16, I moved to the UK,
Yeah.
Manchester. And my parents are living there. My parents are settled in the UK.
Yeah.
I spent about 10 and a half years there.
Okay.
I completed my graduation, my undergraduate, and my master's degree in Manchester.
Yeah.
And then after that, I came to Japan, which is about 14 years ago.
14 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, your English is awesome.
You think so?
Yep. You, wow.
I was criticized a lot as a kid people complain that I speak too fast and they cannot understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it seems like a miracle that
Yeah.
it's become very fluent.
Yeah, you're fluent. You are fluent. No wonder, because you lived in.
I traveled a lot to the States, to the United States, and I spent about 3 months there a couple of times.
Okay.
One was because my younger sister was born there,
Yeah.
so I was only 5, and my parents ended up putting me in a summer school there.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh.
and it was a culture shock for me at that time because I was only 5, and it was for the first time I saw people from different races
Yeah.
and different backgrounds.
Yeah.
Because in Pakistan, it's, of course, I mean, growing up there and then going to the United States and then seeing people from different backgrounds and different ethnicities,
Yeah.
it was pretty interesting. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's go back to the taxi thing.
Sure,
This is the main thing of this talk, right?
of course.
Yeah. I have been driving now for about a year. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, since I started the training, and I think I spent like 3 months in the training. 3 months. Then, yeah. Yes, and I started working.
How was your experience? Can I ask you?
Actually, yeah, my experience, wow, was almost the same, man. When I saw the Chile, the geography, materials, I was like, wow, this is impossible. How can
It's
I
hard.
do this? Because,
How can you
Wow.
remember all those stations and all those
yes,
roads
the
and all those
roads,
names?
stations, and I'm like, wow, is this even possible?
Your experience being when you came to Japan, when you rode on a taxi for the first time. Because in our countries, in
Yeah.
Tanzania or in the UK,
Yeah.
you tell them the addresses and they know where to go. But in Japan, it's
actually,
different.
like, okay, let me tell you the difference between Tanzania and Japan. Tanzania is just it's not confusing.
No, it
When
isn't.
you tell a person, okay, please take me to Sinza,
Right.
then it's just go this way, turn right,
Yes.
you are there.
Yeah, you are there. And sometimes
The
they try to-
roads are few.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
I know.
For instance, in Dar es Salaam, which is the main city of Tanzania, it's a good city, very nice, but the roads are few.
Oh, the roads
Look
are few.
at Tokyo, man.
I know, the roads are so complicated here. You cannot remember the roads by, in your memory. You cannot memorize the roads.
No.
It's hard.
No.
And I'm not, I don't know about Tanzania, but
Yeah.
like when I rented a car and I drove in Los Angeles, for example,
Yep.
the roads are so straightforward.
Yeah.
You go straight, you turn right or left, and the roads names are written
Yep.
on the signals, so
Yep.
you know where you are.
Yeah.
And they're very easy. But here in Japan, you make a wrong turn and it's so
Yep, it takes you to a
so
different place.
inconvenient. Yes, you
Yeah.
end up in a completely different place.
Ma.
You have Google Maps. Thank God for technology.
Yeah, technology
They
is
just-
helping us a lot.
They're lifesavers.
Yeah. I can't imagine those old guys. I mean, in those old days, how were they able to go to places which, I mean, they go for the first time? How was it even possible?
It's very interesting you bring up that point, because once I was taking a break and I met an American guy who had been in Japan for 30 years.
Yeah.
And I told him that I was a taxi driver. He told me that when he came to Japan, the taxi drivers knew all the places by heart. You know, and they all memorized it.
They just knew that.
How did they know it? That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I think the hardness of something in life makes you, I think it's the great teacher.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. It does make you a
Yeah,
good
because
teacher.
when you say that, it's like in Africa, how could they make fire when there was
Yeah.
no matches?
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the hardship of your life makes you, I mean, create your own skills
Of course.
dealing with it.
I was actually listening to the YouTube video of Think and Grow Rich
Yeah.
by Napoleon Hill, and he talks about how the hardships, they force people to get creative,
Yep.
and how people became successful because of hardships.
Yep.
And it's a very good point you brought up,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. So for us now, is the technology is helping us a lot.
it is.
We have Google
We become
Maps.
lazier.
Yeah. Imagine one day and we wake up and say, okay, no using Google Maps today, no using navigations. You're going to do it by yourself.
You're gonna do it by yourself. That will just be a disaster for all of us. Then.
It will be a
Yes.
problem, very big problem, man.
Do you think you could remember all the roads' names and take your customers to wherever they asked you to?
By
if
the
you
way,
didn't-
since
if you
I started working, there are places which you work almost every day in those
That's right,
places.
that's right.
You get used to the places.
Of course.
So if a customer comes and tells you, okay, please take me to this place, and you have been there, you just move right away.
That's right. Yes,
But the problem is, Tokyo is too big.
it is very big, and some roads, even in Roppongi, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed on that interchange, the Roppongi interchange.
Yeah.
To turn right, you have to actually go inside.
Oh, yeah.
Under the bridge.
Yeah, like Shinamachi.
Right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Shinohachi.
Oh, yeah.
And if you miss that turn, then you cannot turn
You
right.
cannot turn right.
Yes.
And if you're forced to turn right, they are there waiting for you.
Yeah, you know who I am talking about.
The siren is waiting for you.
They're hiding. They're sneaky.
Yeah.
Of
So
course.
you do it, you are done.
And
Your point will be gone.
yes, and if you lose too many points, then your license gets suspended and you cannot drive.
That's the problem of our job.
It is a hard job.
It's not easy because we are working for companies, actually.
Of course.
But the license, which we have struggled a lot to get it,
Yes.
it might fly very easily if you don't follow the rules.
If you get in an accident, and do you know this rule, by the way, that if you're driving and let's say a pedestrian is trying to cross the street,
Yeah.
and even though it's his fault,
Yeah.
but you end up hitting him,
Yeah.
because, for example, he was not paying attention to where he was going, and then you end up hitting him because of his fault, you will still get blamed.
Oh yeah.
And you will lose points.
It's it's your fault.
Right.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter if the pedestrian is in fault or not.
Right.
You touch him, you're done.
You touch him, you have to stop. You cannot continue driving.
No way.
For example, did you hear before graduation
Yeah.
that I forgot her name? She was telling us, the senior, the lady who gives us the certificates.
Oh yeah.
I forgot her name.
Yeah. What's her name? Yeah.
It's hard to
Anyway.
remember.
Yeah.
She was telling us that once a taxi driver had a customer, and there was a drunk guy who was trying to cross over
Yeah.
from at the pedestrian crossing.
Yeah.
It was his fault.
Yeah.
And then he touched the taxi, he banged on the taxi.
Yeah.
The taxi driver unfortunately did not stop. He continued driving with the customer to get the customer to her location.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the poor taxi driver, he was the one who lost his license for 3 years and he was unable to drive.
Yeah, because it's counted like it's a hit and run.
It's counted as hit and run,
Yeah.
and by law, he was supposed to stop. He was supposed to tell the customer to get another taxi because he was not allowed to continue driving.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are rules which in Japan are very strict.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard if your
Yeah.
license is suspended, means you cannot drive.
You cannot drive.
Even your own car.
Yeah, even your own car. It's not only the taxi. Even your own car, you cannot drive it anymore. Because this license, it changes from an ordinary license to professional license. So when you have a professional license, you don't have an ordinary license anymore.
No.
That's your license. You use it for work. You use it for your private
Personal
things.
use. That's right.
Yep.
No, it's not a separate license. It's the license that
It
you
becomes
use at all
yours. You are a
times.
professional driver, and that's yours. You are with it. By the way, let me ask you one more thing.
Yeah, go for it.
During when you're doing this job, what is the biggest challenge to you?
Very good question. There are many challenges, but let me give examples of some of the few. Number one, the police hiding and jumping at you even for the slightest violation.
Yeah.
I believe that they should be lenient with taxi drivers because we're doing a job. We're not driving for fun.
Yeah.
We have customers. And sometimes customers tell us to turn right or turn left. Customers sometimes don't realize that they're asking us to do what they're doing is asking us to do a violation, which is a violation.
Yeah.
Make a turn, which is a violation.
Yeah.
And also, I wish the police would also realize that we are working long hours. We are not simply just driving for pleasure.
Yeah.
Because this job, the hours are long.
Yeah.
You get tired while driving on the roads for long hours.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't have time to take a nap because you're
Busy.
always you're concerned about making sales.
Yeah.
So that's one of the challenges. Second one, the roads in Japan, in Tokyo especially, are so narrow, and if your taxi even touches even a slight bit and gets a scratch, you are supposed to stop, call your branch and tell them.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to go back and write a report. They will ask you to end the shift, even if it is a tiny scratch.
Yeah.
Have you had that experience before?
For me, not yet. Yeah.
I've had many, unfortunately, and sometimes the roads are so narrow that turning is a big challenge. You got to be very careful.
Yeah.
And if you just even touch your taxi and get a scratch, you cannot continue driving.
You have to go back to your company.
That's right.
To your branch, and you have
writing
to write.
all those reports is such a drag. It's so inconvenient. And then they will ask you to end your shift. They won't let you continue.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, the first challenge of police, I think we have to be very careful in dealing with the customers. So
That's
I
right.
remember the first time I was driving in Shibuya at night.
right.
One girl, these young girls, they're
yes, of
very
course.
stubborn.
Oh, yes, of course. Entitled.
Excuse
They're
me?
entitled. A lot of them are,
She was a bit drunk.
of course.
So, she took me from the southern side of southern entrance of Shibuya station. So it's this way, right? Straight and left.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she wanted me to turn right.
You mean turning to? She wanted you to go towards Roppongi or Dongenzaka? Which?
No. I'm on, the southern side.
Right.
And when you go this way, when
Yes.
you turn left is Dongenzaka.
Right.
When you go straight is the one which takes you all the way to Shinjuku.
Okay.
And there's this way of the Koban side, you cannot turn right.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But she wanted me to turn right.
of course.
She was even forcing me like, I always go here.
Right.
Why are you not turning right?
Yes.
I was like, no, you cannot turn right here.
Yes.
So I just went all the way, and she ended up complaining like, tomawari, like you went a long way. But
course.
I was right.
Shogunai.
Yep. So sometimes you have to stand, if you know that you are right in what you are doing, even if a customer says whatever, don't listen to them.
They can be, some can get very obnoxious, of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
but for me, what I do, if I'm right, I don't care.
Yes.
Because if anything happens, I'm the one who is going to lose.
Of course.
It's not the customer.
No.
Yeah. So if they tell you, okay, turn right here, and that road is, let's say, is a one-way road. You say, no, I cannot go here.
No.
But I always go here. I said, no, there's no way I can go here.
Yes.
So let a customer be angry, but you have served your...
Of course, you have
Your
saved your
license.
license. You have saved your shift.
Yeah,
Because,
even if she complains or he complains anywhere, you cannot be in fault.
No.
Yeah. The problem is we have to be very, very vigilant.
Yes.
Japanese roads,
Of course.
traffic signs.
Yes, you have to be very, very careful, because sometimes they're in kanji, and you think that you can make a maneuver, but actually you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
So you have to be very vigilant. And even when it comes to parking in certain places, even if it says P, but underneath there is a sign in kanji.
Yeah. It's very...
So
yeah.
if you end up parking there and
Yeah.
then you find out that you are not allowed to park there, you end up getting a ticket. Even then, you can also lose points.
Yeah.
But my friend actually works in the police, actually, so
Yeah.
I've learned some of the rules from him.
Yeah.
If, for example, you've parked your taxi, let's say to go to the bathroom, and then you come back, and then there's a yellow ticket on your car.
Yeah.
It says that this is a parking violation.
Yeah.
Don't ever take it to the police.
Yeah.
Because if you do, you will pay either way, but you will lose points.
Yeah.
It's better that you let the parking authorities send a letter to your place.
Yeah.
Then you take that letter and
You pay to the
pay
convenience
the
store?
at the bank, at the convenience stores,
Yeah.
at the post office, but don't ever take it to the police.
I see.
Yes, that's what my friend
Yeah,
told me.
but anyway, I won't do something like that.
Yes.
Okay, so what do you enjoy the most in this work, in this job?
Well, I really enjoy driving because it's a very, very mobile job. You get to just go to different places. You get to explore. You get to learn the roads and see different places.
Yeah.
Some customers are great.
Yeah.
Most of them, I mean, I would say like 99% of customers have been great.
Yeah.
They've enjoyed conversations with me. They've asked me where I'm from and about my my experiences. And even on Uber, you create a profile and customers can read
Yeah.
your background.
Your background.
Yes. And some customers have been so kind that even if I've made mistakes, they've just not really made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
They've even given me tips because of that.
Oh, I wanted to say that.
Yes. some
This
customers-
job is good at tips.
very good. Even though tipping is not part of the Japanese culture.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. It's
Yes.
not part of Japanese culture.
It's not part of the Japanese culture.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
still, they.
Yes, they give you tips. And one customer even wrote a letter and sent it to my branch saying thank you for the ride.
Oh,
Yes.
that was a good customer.
She was a very good customer. Yes.
Wow, that's awesome.
So she was very happy with my service.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Some customers, they given me presents as well. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yes.
Wow. Man, this job, it's quite a different experience. So
It is very
like
different.
so just like what we were saying, I most of foreigners in Japan, their
Yes.
main job is
Teaching English.
teaching English.
Yes.
So I think it's important to have different kind of experiences
Of course.
when you live abroad.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So like this one, not everyone can do it.
It is no, it's not for the faint-hearted, definitely not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not, because some customer, like I said, I don't know, have you ever had obnoxious customers? Because you will get obnoxious customers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've had a few quarrels and
Yeah.
fights, and I've even told them to just leave, even though
Yeah, I did.
in Japanese,
I did once.
Japanese culture, you don't do that, but I'm not gonna take abuse.
Yeah, but one thing, you don't have to be over tempered.
No,
You don't.
there's
to
a balance.
Be, yeah, high temper is not
No,
good.
no,
for
don't yell.
Don't yell.
But if they say bad words
Yeah.
like bakayero
Yeah.
or shine or teme,
Yeah,
then get out of my taxi.
yeah, you can say
You
that.
cannot use that language at
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
ever. You
This
call
is
me-
what
It's on the
Yeah,
camera.
It's on the camera.
Yes.
So if they're too abusive,
Yes, then
You
just
have the
leave
right.
My taxi. Get out of my taxi.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember New Year. It was.
Yes.
Yeah, it was busy.
Yes.
Very busy. Actually, that was the day I made the highest sales ever.
You do make very high sales on that day because
Yeah.
people are going back to their hometowns or
Yeah.
they're going back to where they live. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. I mean, have you ever had obnoxious customers trying to pick fights with you or trying to intimidate you?
Actually, yeah, there is a girl.
Oh, right.
One girl, I think, as I told you, one girl, I think it was in Shibuya. It was
Yes.
by GoPay. So I went to pick her, but when she just entered, instead of talking to me like nicely, she started complaining.
Okay.
Like, I know you're gonna take a long way.
Did she assume because you were a foreigner? Is that one?
Probably.
I see.
She was a bit drunk. I said, why are you started by complaints? I mean,
Drunk
you just
people.
entered and you just start by complaints. I said, she answered me in a, kind of harsh way. I said, no, I cannot drive
Mm-hmm.
this way. We will end up fighting. So it's better I just leave you here so that you can find another taxi.
Yeah, that's right.
I told her, please go out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she went out.
Okay. And she
And
complained?
she said, Kokojin, Kuni, Kare. She was rude. I said, wow. Kokojin, Kuni, Kare.
Yes, yes.
And she jumped out and I was like, oh, okay. She's kind of racist anyway, but it's okay.
you gotta be, we have to be careful. One thing, I don't know if you've been told about this.
Yeah,
If she complains to the taxi, if the customer goes to the taxi center,
yeah,
it is it's like in Japanese we say mendokusai,
Yeah.
which is like a big pain in the backside, right?
yeah, it is.
What will happen is that you're gonna have to go to the taxi center on your day off with a manager from your branch.
Yeah,
Then you have to pay money. It's about 20,000 yen, apparently, from what I've heard. I'm not sure if that's the exact price. You have to stay there from 9 to 5, explain what happened, then do a little course. They will watch the camera and judge on who was right or wrong. They will apparently try to take the side of the customer.
yeah.
So
Something like that almost happened to me.
That is why.
Yeah.
I was actually worried when that customer he started fighting with me on New Year's Day. I was kind of worried that what if he goes to the taxi center, because of course I didn't give him the receipt, but he could go to the taxi center and complain about me,
Yeah,
even though he was the one who started the fight.
yeah,
But that's where a lot of people are a bit nervous that
Yeah.
if the customer goes to the taxi center, then it's a big pain in the
yeah.
backside,
That's
right?
the problem because actually, it's a customer is like a king. So
That's unfortunately
Yeah.
true in this country.
yeah, a customer is a king, and you have to be very careful dealing
That's
with
right. Yeah, you've got to be
customers.
very careful with
very
them.
careful.
So, even though, you mentioned about this girl who was drunk.
Yeah.
I had one who was in Roppongi. She was so drunk.
Yeah.
Her friends had to tell me where to take her, and on the way, then she was telling me different places where I should take her. And then I said that, look, I'm going to take you to where your friends told me because that's where you live.
Yeah.
And when we got to her place, I opened the door. She couldn't get out. She was very drunk. I said, okay, stay in my taxi. I'll call the police. So as I called the police, because of course you cannot touch the customer.
No.
Never ever touch.
Yeah.
Unless
Don't ever do that.
Don't ever do, unless if if they're old people and you're trying to help them get in.
Yeah.
If they're disabled, only then.
Yeah.
But you cannot touch the customer.
Nope.
If they fall asleep in your taxi,
Nope.
never touch them.
Yep.
Because
it happened to me. I had to take, because it was Kinshio station.
Yes.
I took the guy all the way from Shibuya to Kinshio.
Yes.
And when I got there, he was totally gone.
Yes, he was
gone.
Yes, he was gone.
I
Right?
tried anyhow, like, go kaksama tsuitayo.
Yeah,
But no. So the good thing, the Koban was just right
course,
there.
that's right.
So I just drove the car over there. I opened the door and I told the police, "Oh, my customer
He's out.
He's out." So they are the ones who did that.
Right.
And told him to. Ikura desu ka? It was like almost 9,000 or 10,000.
Right.
And he paid by a credit card and.
Did you remember his Ansho Bango, his PIN number? Like.
No, he was having like American
Express, right?
Yeah. Sometimes you don't even.
So you need to sign on that, right?
Yeah.
Yes. American Express. They don't really ask you for your PIN number in American Express, but
so it was easy.
It was easy.
And the police was there, so there was nothing. Bad could happen because the police was there.
Yes.
Yeah, but man, you have to know. How to deal with the problems.
You have to learn, and it's better to even ask veterans. What do you mind if I ask you? What was your motivation to choose this job? What was your what were you
For
trying
me,
to make a career or
no, sales.
right?
I saw the salary and I was like, oh, this is maybe it's a good. It's a good job. And for me, I like cars.
Of course.
I have my import and export company.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah, I have been going to auctions and buy cars and send to Africa. So, car is my line. I can say that. Even if I've been an LT for almost 10 years, but cars also is my.
That's a very good line.
Yeah, it's my line.
A lot of Pakistanis in Japan, they actually work.
I
in that line.
I know them. I used to meet them a lot.
I love I'm a very adventurous person.
Yeah, I love trying different things.
I'm an author, by the way, as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I've written a book and it's on Amazon.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that's nice.
Yes.
What's the name of your book?
It's called The Thrill-Seeking Adventurer.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. And the concept of the book is how adventures can enrich your life and make you grow. And why you should undertake adventures.
Yeah.
Because it challenges you to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That is another reason why I took this job, to get out of my comfort zone. Because being an English teacher, I was in my comfort zone for so long, I was regressing. You pick you pick any ignorant person off the street from the UK or the United States or these English-speaking countries. I cannot teach English because you know why? Because I'm so bored and I just don't have the motivation anymore. I don't know if you've experienced or seen these guys who are in their 50s or 60s still in that job.
Yeah.
And they don't have any other field or any other options, or they just don't have the desire to work anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because they're so stuck in that comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
That they cannot get out of it.
No.
And imagine how depressing that would be.
Yeah.
If you had stayed in there.
It is. Yeah. So, in my life, I'm not a quitter.
That's exactly.
I'm not a quitter, and I have never failed on something which I didn't want to do. So, leave it to me. I know I can do it.
Right.
She said, all right, you're in there.
You have the mind of a fighter. You bounce, you don't break. She did the same thing, not with the geography test, but with the Nishu Menkyo, with the license test. She took me to the office. Well, what happened was she gave me a sample paper.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand it. Of course, I just guessed the answer because you're supposed to check yes or no.
Yeah.
And I didn't, of course, understand many of the questions. And then most of them were wrong, of course, because it was my first attempt. So she takes me to the office. She told me, it's very, very difficult. It's very difficult. Are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
And then I was a bit worried. I was a bit confused. I said, why would she ask me these kind of questions?
Yeah.
It's a bit
I
strange.
think because she has an experience of, foreigners quitting.
That's one of the reasons. And once they put you in the driving school, then they're paying money for you.
Yeah.
They want to make sure.
She's worried about that.
That's
Because
true.
they pay about 300,000.
That's correct.
But anyway, what we have to do is to be careful with accidents and police. Take care of our licenses and our health.
Our health is very important. Like, you gotta make sure you're getting proper rest, because to be honest, right now I'm feeling fatigued
Yeah.
because I've not had much sleep.
Yeah.
That's why if you don't sleep while doing your job,
Yeah.
then you are putting yourself in danger
Yeah.
of getting into an accident.
It's very important to have a rest
Yes.
when you're doing this job.
And one last thing before we end.
Yeah.
This job has taught us how to be street smart.
Yeah.
Because now you know how to navigate your way around and be aware how to deal with different people, the
Yeah.
kind of people you need to look out for, and how to deal with different kinds of people.
Yeah, this is when you meet, in one day you meet different types of people.
Yes.
And if you can deal with all those kind of people, that means you are generating something, a skill which is untouchable in your
Yes.
head.
Yes. You're not naive anymore. You're not
Yeah.
sheltered.
Yeah.
Because you also learn how to follow instructions and how
Yeah.
to negotiate with
Yeah.
customers and solve problems.
Yeah.
It's a challenge at the beginning, but as you get better at it, you learn more.
Yeah, just imagine concentrating. Your brain cannot sleep.
No.
You're concentrating on the road. Never make mistakes on the road.
Yes.
At the same time, you are thinking of the customer you have.
Yes.
So you have to deal with all the things at
Yes.
the same time.
Yes.
That makes you smarter, man.
It makes you smart, street smart, aware,
Yeah.
alert.
Yep.
You're not living in your cocoon anymore.
No cocoon
No.
anymore.
That's
Like,
right.
okay, you go in the morning and it's just open the book and
Yes.
no.
English teaching, no, you don't grow, man. You don't grow in that job.
No way.
we're-
No.
At least we are glad we're out of that industry.
Yeah. I can see the difference.
Big difference. Big difference.
It's
there.
big difference, and yeah, man, I get asked like all the time, oh, where are you from? Oh, you must be smart to do this. And it's
Mezurashi means
yeah,
very unusual.
yeah, very unusual. I feel like, oh, people value you.
Yes.
They value the kind of thing you're doing.
Yes.
I have never been told that, even though I wear suit, nice all the time, going to school, and they see me just like a normal person. But this one, people have to think twice, like, wow, how comes?
They
a
think
foreigner like you.
they're even surprised when I tell them I used to be an English teacher before. They're surprised. I said, "Why did you change from your English teaching to this job?"
Because the mentality here is like teaching English. You make like maybe be.
it's a respectful, It's a respectable job.
Yeah.
But they don't know the reality of that.
the reality of it.
You
That's
can-
the problem.
You can pick up for example, any garbage cleaner from England or the Western
And
world,
can
and then
come-
make them a teacher.
Yeah,
They don't know that.
they don't know that.
They
But
don't know the reality of what it means to be an English. You can teach the most horrible or atrocious lesson in English,
Yeah.
and they'll still think that, oh yeah, that was an English lesson.
yep. So
What is that?
that's the difference.
Right.
This is a skill.
Right.
A
It's
status.
taken hard work for
Yeah.
us to learn to get to this, to become
Yeah,
taxi drivers.
Yeah.
It's not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah. Not everyone. Can do it.
No,
No.
my wife
I-
couldn't do it.
I have met some American smart guys working in big offices in
Right.
in Roppongi or somewhere. They're like, oh man, I have never driven a car since I came to
No.
Japan
In
because
Tokyo, you don't-
I'm scared of driving cars. But how could you do that in Tokyo?
Right. It said that if you can drive in Japan, then you can drive anywhere. So
Yep.
then I learned, I understood. That makes a lot of sense.
That's why
now.
the license here is valuable, man, in the world.
It's valuable.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can use it anywhere, man.
Yes, that's right.
Wow. So we
Never work as a taxi driver in Japan.
yeah,
So it seems like a big achievement. Does it seem like a big achievement to you?
exactly. It,
Right.
It does. It does because when I got to the first time I drove through Kabukicho,
Right.
you know, all Nigerian guys,
Yes, 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 of course.
when they saw me, they came and said, "Oh, you're a black guy. Come." They're calling each
They're
other.
calling you, right?
They're calling each other. Come.
Right. Oh, they're calling each other.
Yeah. It's a black guy. Oh, my brother, how are you? Oh, where are you from? I'm from Tanzania. Oh, yes. They started boasting like, we will get this Japanese. You know, it's like we are starting to get into the industry.
Right.
They are proud. They are saying, we are so proud of you. Not only Kabukicho, in Shibuya,
Right. Don't get
in Roppongi.
Right.
They say, we are proud of you. So, in Africa, in Tanzania, tax driving is
Of course.
is nothing.
Even in Pakistan
But
too. So
here, they value. I mean, praised by business guys in Roppongi, in Shibuya, in Kabukicho, because they know the system here. It's not easy for foreigners
No.
to drive a taxi. It's just
it's very hard.
It's hard, but they see you driving Japan taxi. I mean, the Olympic ones, the new ones. They are like, wow, how could you even do that?
It was very hard for foreigners to get into the taxi driving industry
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
20 years ago, it would not have been imaginable. It would
Yeah,
have been hard.
yeah.
Chinese probably could get in
Yeah,
because, of course, the kanji.
yeah,
But for foreigners,
No,
you either have to learn everything in kanji,
Yeah.
then you could probably get in.
yeah,
Unlike if you go to Canada or the United States or the UK, you see foreign immigrants driving taxis.
Yeah.
They can get away with that. But here,
no,
or if you go to countries like China, Thailand, you wouldn't see foreigners driving taxis.
yeah. So anyway, for my friends in Kabukicho, Roppongi, Shibuya, thank you for giving me power, because when you say we are proud of you, I feel good, and I think we can do better and better, and we can do even things which we didn't imagine that
Of course.
we can do.
And I also want to say that when to all the customers who say that mezurashi,
Yeah,
gaijin honten sanwa mezurashi desu,
yeah,
it means that it's very unusual to see a foreigner driving a taxi
yeah,
in Japan.
yeah.
I want to say thank you for making it feel like a big achievement, because it has been a big achievement for us.
Yes.
We've had to work very hard to
Yeah.
get this job, and like I said before, I will reiterate that this is not for the faint-hearted,
Yeah,
because a lot of people who could not handle this job
Yeah.
ended up quitting within the first few months,
Mm.
or even the first week.
Yeah.
Or even there are people who graduated and they just said that no, we don't want to do it. But
for Japanese, thank you for giving us a chance.
thank you very
Because
much.
We
どうもあり
say,
がとうございました。
yeah, チャンスくれてありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
Yeah, please be our customers. We need you more and more and more. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much for
And-
taking the time.
One more time, your name is
My name is Albert
Albert from
from the UK,
From the
Manchester.
Manchester.
Yes.
And I'm John, Masunga John from Tanzania. Please subscribe like, comment, and share after watching. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
And
Arigatou
thank you,
gozaimashita.
Abed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
You too.
All right.